Welcome once again back to the college football review and preview for this week. So if you're new to this, stay true to this. But this is Saturday Aftermath, where we're basically going over all the college football games that happen, get a little review in, and also a little preview of the following week also. So if you don't know, posting a lot of college football on the Quiet Call Podcast TikTok, and the discussion over there have been great. It's been crazy. Y'all are legends for everybody that's over there with that. So basically, we are going to review just the week 5. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of good games. A lot of kind of, stuff happening like that. So let's just get into it, right? Y'all come here to listen to the review and the preview and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So Saturday Aftermath review of week 5 that just happened. And like I said, we definitely review week 6 and check out still working on a Heisman kind of show, maybe like a short or something, but man, let's get into this, man. So we're starting off Thursday, and I believe in 2 weeks, let's see, they should start playing on Wednesday. So I'm probably gonna put this video out maybe a little earlier to just deal with the Wednesday games. I know also Tuesday games is I think in like November, but I know the Wednesday's games definitely gonna start. Also, little announcement, hopefully in a couple weeks. So we'll see about that. But we're gonna start off with the Thursday game, East Carolina, Army. I can't say that I am shocked on this because Army's not really that good this year for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but I mean, Army has always been kind of a one-dimensional team, so it doesn't really surprise me. Kind of just stop the run if you can stop the run. East Carolina is definitely doing that. I'm looking at East Carolina now and just kind of seeing what their ceiling is because there's not really like too much really going on over there. So, but just to kind of keep my eyes on them, maybe next week I have a little more news on them. But right now, oh yeah, shout out to Jordan Miles over there, linebacker. So, definitely looking out for that. But here we go. Let's go and get into the meat and potatoes, right? Virginia and Florida State. Now, I said before, if you're not on the TikTok right now, is that Florida State with Gus Miles on is on that tricky offense, jet sweep, and all this other stuff, whatever they're doing over there. So it's very hard to stop, definitely regular season. But once you stop it, you stop it. I say that to say this. I'm still trying to figure out where Virginia's at. They got a huge game this week, and I believe that Virginia is a lot better than kind of what people are trying to say about them. But to stop Florida State to the point, they still scored 38 points on them. But watching the game, it's still Virginia was just dominant all the way around. Now, like I said, play is going to happen and all this other stuff. I still not believing in Tommy Casalato. I just don't think he's that good. I think he ever be that good. But teach is on. And so he's he did good in this game, but we're gonna see how he does like this week also. Next game up is Arizona State TCU. Now, thinking that TCU was definitely a good team this year, especially with I think Avery Johnson is still quarterback over there. So still trying to really figure out what to really make on the TCU play and everything. But the thing with Arizona State was that I thought TCU was basically going to come into the game and kind of get this game. Not really easy, but because Arizona State don't have Cam Scatterboo no more. So I'm thinking like, okay, who's going to be the next man up that's going to basically kind of push that forward? Now, Levitt is a very good quarterback. So I would definitely, he's very good. Is he NFL style? I think late round right now. But he's really good. But Jordan Tyson, the wide receiver over there, number 0. Listen, with him, that's an NFL receiver over there. So with him on the team, I could definitely see kind of what direction they're going to do on that one. But like I said, still a little young though. But can they win the Big 12? I just have to see. They're right now my favorites to win the Big 12. So next game up is Houston, Oregon State. Look, I know Houston's undefeated. I know Houston, whatever. I don't believe in Houston at all. I think it's all smoke and mirrors. I don't think they're good at all. It just for even with the win of Oregon State, the 3-point win of Oregon State. Oregon State doesn't, or they didn't. Oregon State ain't together. I think people are going to get fired. It's not. Oregon State's not a good team at all. And for Houston to squeak by, I just don't. I don't believe in Houston. I don't think Houston ever going to be ranked. That's what I basically. I don't think nobody's looking at Houston going. So, uh, biggest game of the week. Next game up, Alabama, Georgia. Now, this is what I'm gonna say. Now, of course, I'm gonna have Alabama winning this, right? But the simple fact of the reason I have them winning is not because of where I'm at. It's just because I really believe Georgia's very young. They're very young, like very, very, very young, and they're probably a year or two out to being a little dominant, like they was. But when you're young, you're young. You're just, it is what it is, right? It's just Alabama's been in the weight room more than Georgia. It's just that's just how the cookie crumbles. So when I look at Georgia, especially this year, I have Georgia losing probably 2 more games, maybe get to 3. Is this a down year for Georgia? No, I mean, if it's down year, if you lose 2-3 games, I mean, is that a down year? I mean, maybe Georgia standards, but even with Alabama, what I've seen with Ty and the offense is going on over there is they're elite. Now, I like Ty. I've always said that he's definitely an NFL style quarterback. He's definitely an NFL quarterback. You can say what you want to say. The offense over there is elite. Now, the problem that we're having is still with the defense. We can't stop the run. Cannot stop the run at all. I mean, Georgia had 207 yards on Alabama. Can't stop the run. Now, is that going to be a problem? Yeah, with Vanderbilt? Yeah, that's a major problem because Vanderbilt could just run all over them. Like I said, if I was any team playing Alabama, I'm jet sweeping. I'm throwing left and right the whole time because they can't do it. I mean, Florida State knew. Gus Malzahn knew. It's just what it is. The whole jet sweep left and right. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Vanderbilt start running that. But you go with the middle, you're not really going to have that much success. But if you can go around the edge, I mean, it's just we can't stop it because the ball awareness for Alabama is on defense is not like I said, they played good against Georgia. But it's still Georgia still got 200 something, yards on us. So I'm just saying. But important game next week. So next up, Ohio State, Washington. Not really much here. Jeremiah Smith is that guy. Sand is definitely coming into his own, but even with Sand on the team, I don't think Ohio State's the best team because the simple fact is Sand is still kind of coming into his own. And I'm not knocking him and going like, he's horrible, but I don't think they're better than the next team we're going to talk about and Miami. I don't see it. I don't even think they're better than Texas A&M, but but really curious to see how Washington kind of goes through this after this game. So I'm very, very curious on that to see which direction they're going to go because I still believe Washington's a good team. It's just, I mean, even that score kind of tells it all. But Washington's just not up there with Ohio State. So, but next game up is Oregon, Penn State. Now let's talk about this. Now, Oregon does everything right. Now, I didn't like Moore in the beginning, but now I see what he's doing now. And he basically he protects the ball. I mean, this is the quarterback that you need that can make plays and protect the ball and not going to make bad decisions. I guess I'll say that. But let me tell you something. We are Penn State. I don't understand why Drew Aguilar is still quarterback over there. I don't understand it. The reason why I pick Oregon to win this is because Penn State they just can't win these games. And you had a whiteout at home with Oregon. Oregon right now is scary right now because Dan Lanning got them believing in every single thing. Every single thing. And Oregon is top to bottom best team. West Coast Miami. I would say that. Definitely West Coast Miami. And I've said that plenty of times. But even with this game right here, I still thinking that, Penn State just can't go over these games. I don't understand it. But Drew Aguilar got to go. I mean, I don't understand why how long is it going to take? Somebody else get fired over there? Does James Franklin get fired to see this? Like, is it a whole thing of like he just ain't getting it done? So none of that, But next game, LSU Ole Miss. Now, here's the thing. Crazy thing about Ole Miss right now is that they finally got their quarterback. They finally got their quarterback. They finally got their quarterback. So Trinidad Cumberless has ended the chat. And then let me just say this, right? Now, the quarterback they had before got hurt. And Lane was very, adamant on, well, when he comes back, this and this, he's definitely going to start. You just can't do it. It is what it is. It's just how life is. This is how life is. He's been starting over there, been throwing 300 yards every single game. I think right now, once Ole Miss starts going and make sure that that's his team, that's what he needs to announce. Like, this is your team. I think Ole Miss becomes scary. Now, is it over? Now, do we judge it off LSU? No, because I was thinking that I thought LSU's defense was going to be like a little better than Ole Miss's. That's what I kind of really thought about. But I think LSU didn't have their main running back in the game. And Nussmeier's not, he's just not the guy. I mean, I don't understand where at the beginning of the season, even last year, they had him first round draft pick in the NFL draft. Like, what are we doing? I don't understand. I don't know. I don't see it. He hasn't shown enough to be like, NFL caliber. I don't know. Is it because he's just a big guy that can throw, but he can't even do that. So, but next game, Auburn, Texas A&M. Texas A&M is elite. I got them third best team, right behind Miami, Oregon. Third best team, right? Reed is, and let me tell you this, right? Now, I'm Alabama through and through, right? No respect for Auburn, whatever, get this, right? But for Texas A&M to shut down Auburn like they did, now you can see the score 10-16, right? Auburn did a pick six, took it to the house. That's the only time they scored. Jackson Arnold got shut down in this game. And it's very hard. I can have my ways about Jackson Arnold, but the thing is that it's very hard to shut down Jackson Arnold. It is what it is. But Texas A&M's defense, that secondary is ridiculous. For him to not see anything and the amount of sacks, that defense is crazy. And if anybody else in the SEC is going to get ready for Texas A&M, I don't know. I mean, you gotta call a spade a spade. I mean, Texas A&M is the best team. I mean, he's best team in the SEC right now, and that says a lot. Now they're disrespecting them on the rankings and stuff. But when we talk about rankings, that's another subject and point. So next game, Indiana, Iowa. Now, I believe in Indiana. I like Indiana a lot. I like what they bring to the table. I was big on them last year. I think they have a better quarterback this year to take them over. Now, Here's the thing: they verse Maryland, and I think they verse Penn State this year. I think just kind of check. I can do this right now, and I think with yeah, so they play they play Oregon also, and that is they got a bye week this week. So next week they play Oregon, Maryland, and Penn State. Okay, now can I think the Oregon game is going to be, of course, going to be incredibly hard. It is what it is. It's going to be incredibly hard. If Drew Allar is with Penn State, that's a win for Indiana. I think Maryland also is going to be hard too. But if they can pass them three up, you're saying now Iowa. Like I said, we're looking at this Iowa game, and they going, oh, they only won by 5 points. They didn't look good at all. They did not look good at all. They did not. Sometimes you need these wake up games to just go, hey, we need to stay focused. This and this. Could this be the wake up game to go I'm very curious on the Oregon game. I really want to study that game coming up. But Indiana, I believe in them. They're a playoff team. Can they win it all? That's going to be a little tricky. Can they even win the Big Ten? That's going to be a little tricky. I'm going to say something crazy. I think they're better than Ohio State. I really do. I think they're better than Ohio State right now. And like I said, we'll see in a week what they do against Oregon. So next game, Iowa State versus Arizona. Now, I like Iowa State. I believe the 5-0 of Iowa State. I really do. But the fact of the matter is that their Fajita over at Arizona, the quarterback over there, of course, I think he's a better quarterback than Iowa State is. But Iowa State's defense is. I'm looking at the starting league like, okay, they look like it's more the real deal than what I was thinking at the beginning of the year. I guess I'll say that. And I'm looking at this game going, they're putting a lot of stops on Arizona. A lot of stops. So I'm very curious to see how Iowa State kind of finishes off these next couple of weeks. Very curious. So Tennessee, Mississippi State. Now, this is a very good game. Tennessee with Aguilar over there. Now, I like Joey Aguilar. I don't like he's at Tennessee, but I like Joey Aguilar. I know he's like real deal. Now, we're going to discuss another Tennessee team coming up, but Mississippi State is so sneaky good. I mean, they beat Iowa State like just it wasn't nothing, right? Now maybe Iowa State came in that thing not prepared like they used to, but still, you still can't come to the SEC thinking that you just finna just roll over everybody. Don't let the news channels, don't let these people on social media, TikTok, influence you to come into the SEC and then you just, don't bleed this whole down year, down whatever this and this. No, still the SEC. So let's put that out there. But Tennessee's definitely a great team. The game that I'm waiting on, of course, is the Alabama-Tennessee game, but it's that Vanderbilt-Tennessee game. That right there is going to be magic. Next game, Georgia Tech Wake Forest. Now here's the deal. Now I'm big on Georgia Tech. Haynes King, like I said before, is a right-handed Tim Tebow. It is what it is, right? Because the total yards, what he brings to the table. I mean, he had 400 total yards in this game. Absolutely ridiculous, right? Absolutely ridiculous. Okay. 243 yards in the air, 106 yards on the ground. This guy is playing bowling in real life with defenders. He wants to just run over you. Good luck. It's hard to stop somebody that wants to run over you. He gets a thrill out of that. He's hurting every game because he loves it. He loves it. Watch when he plays a game like this, and watch how he's walking. He can't congratulate his team when he's hurt. He can't go to the end zone to the side. He has to go straight to the sideline because he's hurt. Now, Wake Forest, they're not really we're not really gonna hawk on this. I don't really look at a team like, it's just, one of these wake up games. Kind of squeak by it. Yeah, we can call it what it is, right? Kind of squeak by it. You just cannot sleep just on college football, right? It don't matter who your opponent is. So, but can Georgia Tech win the ACC? That's very. I have them win the ACC, but there's a team named the Louisville Cardinals that's not getting any respect right now at all. So we're gonna see. It's still early. So it's week 5. This is week 6 coming up. It's still early. So here we go. Vanderbilt, Utah State. Now, let me just say this. Utah State is a better team than what people think they are. I like Utah State. I really do. I really, really like Utah State and what they're not really finna become. I think what they're good right now. But listen, they're playing Vanderbilt. I mean, still scored 35 points on Vanderbilt. I mean, you look at it. Look what I'm saying. Vanderbilt had to score 55 points in this game to win this game. Now, Diego Pavia is that guy. He got everybody over in Nashville believing in him. Everybody in Nashville's believing. Everybody. He's not worried about Alabama this week. He's not. That's scary. That's scary. When you have a confident quarterback like that and a confident head coach that just matches up just like that, like they're right there. They're locked in. You cannot take this lightly, which is so crazy for me to say. You play Vanderbilt on homecoming. You invite them down to the homecoming game. We ain't got time to really work. I'm trying to go out to the dance. I'm trying to, do other stuff on homecoming. Not anymore. But the question is, when Diego Pavia leaves, does the coach stay? I mean, listen, if you're Vanderbilt and he's in the SEC, he's dominating. Why would you leave? That's a story for another day. Missouri, UMass scored first, and they didn't look back because nothing really stay on this. Hardy over there, the Missouri running back, had three touchdowns, 130 yards, but it's not really anything. We're still talking UMass. UMass didn't even score. I think, like I said, I think they woke him up, was like, no, we ain't finna be, this. We ain't finna get no hope. We're not finna get no hope to the opposition, but I like what Missouri's doing. I think Missouri's definitely strong this year. USC, Illinois. Now, here we go. I like Illinois. It's just a run game. Like I said, they got a guy over there who is 6'2", 260, 250 or 260, can't run the ball. Like, what are we doing? He just can't run the ball. USC, I don't know. I don't really know. I still can't really figure out USC and what they're doing and who they want to be. I don't know. People say that they're good. I just don't see anything on USC that would kind of say, hey, they're such a good team. No. Notre Dame, Arkansas. Notre Dame went BTA on Arkansas to the point that Arkansas, should have made a move 2 years ago and fired their coach. Now, Petrino's there. So shout out to the motorcycle gang over there right now. So I'm very curious on who still plays at Arkansas and like the transfers coming in, transfers out. I felt that now Arkansas's running game is non-existent. The guy is crazy. He's not good at all. But they had a really good I felt that Arkansas, especially with the transfers coming in, they had a very good line. Their offensive line is, I felt it was kind of the best in the SEC. But when you don't have a running back just don't care about nothing, it happens like that. So BYU Colorado, Colorado should have got this game, but I don't understand. Here's the deal. Like, whoever's over player personnel, transfer portal, trying to get people or get players into an organization, that guy needs to be fired because he cannot evaluate talent. I hadn't saw not one move Colorado did on a transfer portal level that made me look at them and go, man, they got this year. It is not. Even Caden Salter he's not a good quarterback. And I don't understand, if you're going to die on a hill, why don't you just put in your freshman quarterback and just get him experience? I don't understand. Is this like conversations like he don't want to play? I don't understand why they're not playing Julian Lewis. I don't understand. Like, Salter cannot be in practice. Looking at it, it's impossible. It's impossible. They're just playing the wrong people over there. They're not getting the right people. They just have to evaluate players coming into the transfer portal. This is a prime example, no pun intended, but it's a prime example of, if you're going to use the transfer portal to the max of your capabilities, like that's all you're going to use. Like, if you're not going to draft high school players, then you better get the transfer portal right. If not, you're going to end up like Colorado. I don't see Colorado winning another game this year. It is what it is. I don't see them winning because it's just like they're bringing people in they don't need to be coming in. So, I just know it's no like, oh my gosh. So, Minnesota Rutgers, Minnesota. Keep your eyes on Minnesota. Now we can say Rutgers, whatever, Rutgers this, but got my eyes on Minnesota like that. Duke, Syracuse. Duke is definitely a better team than Syracuse. Syracuse still they doing more, back and forth on the field. He's upset. So, but I'm just saying. But Duke is kind of disappearing this year. I mean, maybe they'll come back and do something. But I had Duke a little higher this year at the beginning of the season. But I mean, we'll see where it ends up going to. Louisville, Pittsburgh. Now, Louisville is greatly getting disrespected. Now, they play now. Let me just say this: the quarterback play over there is not good. Moss it's not where it's at, right? But the running game over there is, I believe, is the best thing, and that the defense over there. So, Brown and Watson over there, they're basically kind of holding Louisville together, and that defensive line. The defense is good, just the quarterback play. The quarterback play is just not there. But Pittsburgh is a very good team. I'm not going to like hawk over Pittsburgh like they're not a good team, but they're a really, really good team. Cincinnati, Kansas. I don't know where Kansas is disappearing at. I understand Cincinnati 3-1. I don't believe the 3-1. For me, I thought Kansas was a very, very, very good team. Way better. Jalen Daniels over there. I don't know. He had 445 yards and he still can't get it done. 4 touchdowns. He's, but you still can't win the game. So just defense right there. That's all that is. Kansas State, UCF. Kansas State definitely should have won. No, Avery Johnson's over here. I think I'm at TCU. No, I forgot he's over here. Jeez, that's on me. But Avery Johnson he's just, I don't know. It's some days he's on, some days he's off. Kansas State just makes me upset because I just can't. Another one like USC, I can't figure out where they're going to go with this. Are they a playoff team? Are they not? Can they win the Big 12? I don't think so. Congratulations beating UCF, but I don't think so. South Alabama, North Texas. South Alabama lost a lot of people last year, so can't really hawk on this. North Texas is a good team, 5-0. I definitely believe in that. In that 5-0, going into the future and everything. But Baylor, Oklahoma State, right now, Oklahoma State just lost their coach, of course, right? And crazy thing is that Oklahoma State has a running back, and hold on, let me get his name up real quick. And his name is Trent Howland. Now, I'm seeing him running around and stuff, and I'm going, where's this guy been at? Like, who's this guy? Right? Now, he transferred in from Indiana. He was at Indiana last year, transferred in. Crazy thing about it was he was fourth string on Oklahoma State. Okay. Now they should bump him. He got to be first string now, because now they lost Baylor. Yes, Baylor has a better offense than Oklahoma State. There's no doubt about it. Baylor should be better than what the record is, but it is what it is. Baylor has an incredible offense, better than Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State right now, they're gonna have a down year. It is what it is. But when I tell you that Trent Howland is good, he's good. So that's what we're rooting for over there. Utah, West Virginia. Utah is definitely, they're just young over there. They're really young, but they're really good. Like, I think next year is going to be like they could probably win they could win the Big 12 next year. Right now they're young. West Virginia is still figuring out themselves, but that's how you build a team that's figuring out themselves. And so, but definitely next year, Utah, because that's what I was trying to figure out with the last game with Utah, Texas Tech. I was going like, okay, let me see where Utah's at. And I can see that they had no depth on the team. It's just because they're young. And a lot of people just got to go to the weight room and all that stuff. But next year, and definitely a year after that, Utah's going to be talking about playoffs. Playoffs, yeah. We're talking about playoffs. Utah's going definitely in a good direction. But, anything can happen. So, we'll just see about that. Also, the Tulane and Tulsa game. Now, like I said, I'm only speaking on Tulane. Tulane is really good. They're really good. Now, like I said, everybody can be looking at this going, oh, it's just Tulane and blah, blah, blah. This is not whatever. Listen, Tulane is really good. Now, they can win the American. I don't know how this 12-team playoffs going to do. They can make the playoffs. They win, I guess. If they don't, then, just bias anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it's 12 teams. They should be able to make the playoffs this year. That's how good they are. Do people want them in the playoffs? Probably not. But, I mean, who else you going to put in there? I believe in them. So, but, what do I need though? So, let's see. Also, like I said, we're going to go over, here we go. South Carolina, Kentucky. Kentucky's just not good this year, but they're good. I mean, have they ever been good? So Sellers coming back doing his thing. I just don't think South Carolina. I thought South Carolina was going to be a little bit better, stronger this year. No, it's just don't. That's just not the case for this year. So, but that's definitely the that's the review for this year. Well, for last week. But real quick, I just want to say that this episode is brought to you by Aspire Energy Drinks. Give you a clean boost of energy without the jitters and the whole shaking and all this other stuff. Man, listen, pick up a case of the Aspire Energy Drink. Half the caffeine with most energy drinks, 0 sugar, 0 calories, and packed with vitamin B and C, and a little ginger for your focus and your wellness on that. Great thing is that besides the incredible flavors like mango lemonade and they have like a mango, I think a strawberry lemonade one also. That one's really good also. But besides, like I said, besides the flavors, what I got for y'all right now is 20% off your entire order. When you go to expireddrinks.com, that's expireddrinks.com, promo code Quiet Card. Okay, Quiet Card, 20% off. So get you a couple cases of it, get 20% off the whole entire order, not just like one or two drinks, the whole entire order. Go on there, go wild. Okay, Inspired Energy Drinks, energy that feels good. Appreciate you sponsoring the show today. Now we're gonna go for a preview of next week or this week coming up, week 6. This is what. Listen, my new favorite team, that Delaware. Let me tell you something. Delaware, Western Kentucky, Vegas is paying attention. They are the favorites in this game. I love Delaware. Okay, I love Delaware because my boy Manny Cucci, is his real name, is out here balling out of control. Now, he's still young, so he doesn't have the arm yet, but he slings it. He's going to sling the ball. Crazy. He's going to sling the ball. Okay? Like I said, game of the week right there. Game of the week right there, which is on Friday. Okay? And you can do Alabama. Everybody's going to have Alabama, Vanderbilt right there. My new favorite team for this year is Delaware. They're good. So just watch out for that. That's all I'm saying. Watch out for that. Clemson, North Carolina. We'll be, I want to see what North Carolina's at more than I want to do Clemson. I want to see that, But a lot of people getting a week is Vanderbilt, Alabama. Now, real quick, here's the deal. Alabama just need to take this whole thing serious. Vanderbilt is going into this game, no problem. They're not sweating it at all. At all. And that can definitely be a problem for Alabama. Now, do we have a better offense than Vanderbilt? I believe so. But the thing is that we still have to stop that run in Diego Pavia because it's not just a run, right? He can throw the ball too. He can throw the ball too, 100%. Okay. So, but I think the best thing it is at the house. But like I said, Diego Pavia ain't worrying about it at all. He ain't worried about coming down to Tuscaloosa. It's a high school game for him. He ain't worried about us at all. Like I said, that's more than any talent can do. When you have heart like that, talent comes. Period. Georgia, Kentucky. I don't think it's gonna be an upset. I don't know. I was about to say something, but nah, Georgia's gonna. Kentucky just ain't got it. But anything can happen though. Michigan, Wisconsin. Listen, Underwood. He's, they're using him. He's fine coming on. Oh, but that's what I'm saying about Colorado. Is like, come on now, what are y'all doing? Figure this out with your young players. If you're gonna go down like this, you might as well just, figure out what the young players on the team, get them playing time. Illinois, Purdue. That's a sneaky game also. Like I said, Illinois don't have a run game, so I'm very curious on that. The Baylor Kansas State game is gonna be a high scoring game right there. It says 61 points. If I was a betting man, would I take the over on that? I'm not really sure. It's gonna be a high scoring game though. Very high scoring game. And of course, you got Baylor winning it, but Baylor is supposed to be 5-0 right now. But that's what happens when you got no defense, or you mess up a lot on offense. So, Wake Forest, Georgia Tech. Not really looking at that. They ain't gonna be. 50 points. Somebody's supposed to go. This game's supposed to get 50 points total. No, I don't think so. It's gonna be way less than that. Way less than that. Arizona, Oklahoma State. I want to see Oklahoma State if they can bounce back. They fired their coach. Let's see what they can do. It's always like a team fires their coach a mid-season, they all of a sudden like get this juice and they win this. They got Arizona winning by 20 points. What? Oklahoma State ain't got it though. I can hoopla and all this other stuff. Penn State UCLA, it's not a real game. It's not really. We ain't talking about UCLA. UCLA is done and over with. I'm surprised he ain't transferred yet. Maybe after this he will. I don't know. But Texas, Florida. Now, here's the deal. Let's talk about this game for a second. Now, I'm the rare few that goes, Florida is still a great team. I'm not looking at the record. They're still a great team. Now, you go up against Miami. Miami is they can win the national title this year. They're a really strong team. And you did South Florida. With South Florida, they just basically got out-coached on, period. But that Miami game, you got to understand that was all in the elements. None of them really played good anyway. Beck didn't play good. DJ didn't play good. So it's like, you got to just pick your poison on that one. But I'm still rocking with Florida. I don't think Billy Napier needs to get fired. I'm just saying it right now. Florida's still a good team. Now, Arch Manning, this is his test right here. This is his test right here. This is when he sees a real defense. Those windows get really small, really, really small in this game. I have Florida winning this game. Just a simple fact that I don't think Texas has any like high caliber receivers on the team that's even helping out Arch Manning over there. Because Arch Manning, them yards that they're saying, these total yards that they're doing is all off yak points. It's all off yak yards at the catch. That's all it is. He'll throw 5-10 yards and he'll take off. But I got Florida winning this game. But I'm curious to see. I don't want to get up on Arch Manning because even if he doesn't have an arm on him, I'm like, even the pre-snap reading and the post-snap reading of a defense, and it's like basic stuff that I feel like being a Manning, you should just understand. Like, yeah, you can take off and run, but it's like, I think it's the little stuff that I thought his IQ was going to be a little bit higher than what I thought it was going to be. I don't know. Like I said, he's still trying to figure it out. But I mean, Shark, Shark got to get it together also as a coach. But Boise State, Notre Dame, they had Notre Dame by 20. Listen, is it crazy for me to say that Boise State can beat Notre Dame? Just because Notre Dame and Carr over there, the quarterback, is still really young. And Boise State is not a slouch team. Very interested in that. Look at that. It's be on NBC because Notre Dame. Now, huge game right here. Virginia, Louisville, right there, right? Now, I said it before, Louisville's getting disrespected. This has to be the game that they show up and show out. Now, Louisville has a better defense than Virginia, but the problem is that will the offense allow the defense to stay off the field? That's the question. And that's the only question. And that's when Moss has to come into play and start picking up his game on Louisville. They have a running game. I know the receivers over in Louisville is fantastic. But do they have enough to keep that defense off the field? Because when that defense comes in, I don't think Virginia, not just seeing a defense like this, but this might be a real test on their offense to go against Louisville defense. I really think it's a huge test for them. So very curious on that one. Washington, Maryland. I love Maryland on this. I think this is Maryland finally going to get tested. Malik Washington, the quarterback of the freshman over there. Listen, Maryland's going in the right direction. If any team in the country is going in the right direction is Maryland. Okay, Malik Washington is real deal. Now, is he going to be like on some Heisman list, this and this? This might be the game if he can just go ahead and ball out. But it is Washington. He's got to go neck for neck with Washington right now. I think it's going to be high scoring. Maryland might have a better defense than Washington. Am I kind of crazy to I'm kind of crazy, to really see that? Really curious on that. Let's see. Also, App State get a win over Oregon State? Might be. Look at that. I like to see that. Love to see it. Let's see what else games we got. Oklahoma, Kent State. I think your boy's out. I think it was like perfect to he kind of stepped away with the surgery and everything. So, but I mean he'll come back and start balling out again. Nebraska, Michigan State. Now here's the deal. I think I said last week about Michigan State and USC. Maybe 2 weeks ago. I think this is the game with Michigan State. I think Michigan State has now. I don't know what to make on Nebraska. I don't know if they're better than what they seem on paper. I don't understand. I'm still trying to. I don't know. I feel like just Nebraska. I don't know. But what Michigan State is, well, I'm very curious at this game. Now they got Nebraska by like 11.5 points. Michigan State has these games every year that they should not win, but they do. Because everything just works perfectly for them. This might be the game right here. Because Nebraska's just going to mess up. I just feel like they're just going to keep just the little stuff. The penalties. It's just, I think Michigan State very, 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 very willing to understand what they're finna do in this game. I'm very curious though. Very curious on that one. Houston, Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech blows them out the water. I don't know what Vegas sees in Houston. I think Texas Tech blows them out the water. Texas Tech is far superior team than Houston. I think this is when Houston finally gets. I don't see anything happening over there doing that. Ohio State, Minnesota. Man, here we go. Now, is there gonna be an upset? I don't think so. But like I said, Sagan is so young. He's so young. I think he figures it. I mean, but he still got Jeremiah Smith, who is that man. But I think they have him at 23-point favorite. It might be a little bit lower than that. So very curious to see. Maybe some news will come out in the next couple of days about it. But got my eyes on that game. That's a late night game too. Now, Miami, Florida State. Miami, for me, is one of the top 2 teams in the country. Even with Florida State's loss last week, I don't think Florida State can compete with Miami. Even if it's at Tallahassee, I don't see them competing with that. So I think Miami kind of carries this one. And besides, it's early for Miami. Usually Miami starts messing up by like November. So, we'll see. I think Carson Beck. The weather should be nice. Let me see. 80 degrees, cloudy on that game. Yeah. Yeah, 80 degrees. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Remember, this is very important. I don't know if I said it's not. Remember, check the weather. Okay? On these games. Check the weather. Really important. Mississippi State, Texas A&M. I think this is going to be I think it's going to be a close game than most people think it's going to be. Like I said, I like Texas A&M. They're going to shut down Mississippi State's offense. And then I think Reed's going to ball out in this game. But Mississippi State's been super, super quiet this year. But this is also the game I kind of want to see where Mississippi State is at, so I can kind of look at it for future picks. Definitely want to see that. Colorado, TCU. I think they're not going to start the freshman, and Colorado's going to lose this game. It is what it is. I want to see what Kansas is at. UCF. This is a huge game for Kansas because UCF is none to play with. Their coaching is definitely superior than. I mean, he's going to get probably a bigger job next year, But very curious to see where Kansas stacks up at on this game because I don't know, just Kansas got to do something. It's like you poking them with the stick and going, "Come on, you got to do something." So Memphis Tulsa, very interested in it. Memphis is also getting disrespected also. And I hope to come next week with a more better analogy on Memphis. And I really like Memphis. I really do. But also Duke, California. That's gonna be a good game also. California will be sneaky on this. Duke's the favorite, not by much. Cal might be this might be the game that Cal wakes up or that has the country on notice with. So very 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 curious that. But like I said, shout out to everybody who's still on here rocking me right now. It has been great. Like I said, go to aspiredrinks.com for 20% off your entire order at Quiet Card. Put that in the promo and everything. But like I said, really appreciate y'all working with me. Also, like I said, anybody on YouTube is gonna be on audio also. So y'all can just kind of listen to it, get your own analogy, this and this. Like I said, keep it in the comments. What do you think next week? What are we looking at? Who's top 10 in college football? Let's discuss it. Everything in the comments right now. If you're listening on audio right now, everything's gonna be on YouTube visually wise. But like I said, shout out to everybody that's still rocking with me right now. But until probably either this week or next week, we got to chat over again. Like I said, games be earlier. I'm gonna release the video earlier than this because I want to do the Tuesday games and the Wednesday games. Also, probably have an announcement next week when I do these games, and watch out for the podcast. Also, every Wednesday dropping too. Definitely have an announcement with that have to do. But like I said, this is Saturday Aftermath. Only spots, well, in the Quiet Card universe that we go over the week before and the week coming up on college football only. So check us out. Follow us everywhere. Okay. So we out of here. Peace.